Today on the show, we are talking wellness with Dr. Brian Rodgers from Body Renue. We're talking bioidentical hormones. And Dr. Hatch, who has our Wellness Minute, and he's going to tell you all about functional neurology's approach to helping overcome anxiety and depression.
And my advice is, when the show's over, get up and go for a walk. It's pretty easy. It's beautiful. It's time.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Stick around for all this and more coming at you right here, right now on Talk 365 TV.
Good morning, Trip Mitchell, Holly Love, and I got finally a new phone.
What do you have?
So I've got an LG 7 thin. It's a much nicer phone, but part of the phone included a fitness app from LG. And I am the last person on the planet to have a fitness app on their phone. And it is driving people wiki-wacky with the amount of steps that it wants you to take and that you do take.
It's a whole stepper thing.
Yeah, but
People go crazy about the steps. There's Fitbits, it's a whole thing. Do you like it or do you hate it?
so it's not accurate because it is totally not accurate because I go to the gym and I used to put my phone on the bike and I would listen to music or watch like
Podcast,
Colbert,
book, something, yeah.
whatever on there. But as long as your bike is sitting or your phone is sitting on the bike, it doesn't go. So now I put the darn phone in my pocket. So as I'm riding, it gives me credit. And I have become...
Does your phone get sweaty from your pocket?
Yeah, it's just stupid.
There's a lot of reasons that's gross. I wouldn't like that. That would drive me crazy.
But here's the ironic part. I could just take the calories burned at the gym and add that in my mind, but I want the stupid tracker to give me credit.
You could actually just not participate, but you can't help it. It's taunting you.
It is taunting me. It is. I remember a couple years ago, you guys got into Pokemon Go.
Not you guys, the world did. I still have no clue how to video game anything, but the Andy, the girls, the Sylves.
Yeah, you guys were heavily into this.
The world.
So this is stupid because I'll pull it up right now. And right now I burned 23 calories, 415 steps today.
Well, good job.
But I'm not going to the gym until this afternoon. But anyway, these devices are evil.
Well, they're evil and they're awesome all at the same time, depending on how you look at it. I like the one where you can put in your calories. I think it's like, there's so many different fitness apps that just tell you how much is in your food when you're trying to figure it out because they've done all of the legwork for you. You can type in anything from any restaurant, anywhere, even if you think it's obscure, and it comes up. So I love it for that reason, but I've not gotten into the steps yet. So.
Well, the thing is that your food is so important. But anyway,
food is medicine. We've definitely learned that with
by the
Jared
way, what's also
weight
important
loss.
is going to break on time.
What's
coming up next?
Okay, coming up next, we have a wellness news you can use. You're not going to want to miss it. We are talking more wellness trends 2019, what's hot, what's not. So stick around.
Snacking has never been this exciting. At Graze.com, we combine wholesome ingredients with the flavors we all love to create over 100 exciting snacks. Like these. We'd love to send you a Graze sampler box for free. Just go to Graze.com, enter the code SNACK54, and we'll mail your free box to your home or office. Join thousands of Grazers already in love with our exciting snacks. So come to Graze.com for your first box free.
Brain Rehab Clinic is proud to announce that they're the first clinic in Utah to have on-site the gyrostem. And welcome back to the show. I've just got a call from my phone saying that I'm a jerk for saying that this free app is evil.
Well, I mean, most people will tell you you're a jerk for something, but you can't win them all.
So I will, I'm not putting, in this afternoon's workout, I'm putting it up on the side of the bike.
Do you know what you just did? Which is very cool and trendy?
What's that?
You threw shade. Did I say that right, Sylves?
What did I do? How?
Right?
Explain.
Isn't that right? Didn't I use it right? It's a term I've been dying to use. It's when you throw shade. Is it throw shade? You do shade? You are shade? Anywho, it's something that the cool kids say, and you were cool for a minute if you would have said, I totally threw shade on the app, but you didn't. And now I'm not cool because I don't know how to say it either. But anywho, it's where you diss something.
Oh,
You
okay.
say it,
I
you don't
threw
like it.
shade on the app. But anyway,
Exactly.
what are we,
What are we doing? Okay, we are continuing from our last wellness news that we had. We are talking 2019 trends that came out by wellandgood.com, a really cool resource for wellness. It has a wellness council full of all kinds of amazing wellness gurus, doctors, entrepreneurs, New York Times bestsellers. It's a really, really cool .com. I recommend that you check it out. And they did a prediction on top trends for 2019 back in December. And we're sort of circling back and taking a look at it and seeing what they were dead right on. And today what I wanted to focus on is the concept of trends in diet and exercise. So like intermittent fasting. And also like the Mediterranean diet is on point, and they were dead right on that because it's easy.
I'm very much in favor of the Mediterranean diet. I really feel that every meal that I eat in Italy
should count fine over here.
totally fine. So just send me to Italy and I'll be in great shape.
Or just throw you a pizza and say it's from there and you'll be fine.
Well,
Mind over matter.
olive oil is not bad.
Well, you've done intermittent fasting for forever. We've talked about this before, and we've, of course, been working with our wellness team expert, Jared McDonald, who, by the way, oh my goodness, he has all of our team. The Silves is losing weight. My brother's losing weight. We'll keep you up on that. But intermittent fasting just works. It's amazing, and there's so many health benefits to it, and it is definitely easy. And then the next one was organization, which I thought was really fun. Have you binged the Netflix series Tidying Up?
I have not.
With the cute organizational expert, her name is Marie Konto. I think I'm saying that right. I apologize if I didn't. Have you heard the term spark joy?
No.
Okay, well then you're way behind. But this trend did come to pass, and it is happening in a really big way, because not only is her Netflix series out there and a huge success where she wants to chat with you about keeping your things only if they really bring you joy. Why hold on to things that don't? But also streamlining the way that you approach organization, because typically if you go and read a book on organization or something and it's like, I don't know, you pretty much have to purge everything you own to follow it to the letter, right? Because it's just almost impossible. So there is a new trend called wabi-sabi, which is embracing the imperfections of your life, which I love that concept. So it's like, if you don't have room for a stock pot in your pantry or in your cupboards, you don't have to throw everything out to make room. Maybe think about buying a stock pot that's beautiful, like a copper one, or having cooking stuff that's sitting out in utensils in a beautiful basket. So make your unorganization beautiful, make the things that may be imperfections because your home doesn't have room for it, make it beautiful. So I thought it's really fun and interesting to think about the way that we are responding to the demands of the pendulum shift in wellness and how everybody jumped on board with it, and I love it, and it's brought us to, you know, where we are at. And now this shift the other way is going to just bring us to the next level because we're demanding things to be easier as usual. So anyway, what are your wellness practices this year, Mitchell?
Moving into a new house with tons of cupboards so I can actually have
Ooh.
food in the house.
Because you've been banned from food for a while.
Vita has, in our house, cooking gadgets from the last 30 years. There is no room for food. And I went out and did my typical thing where I got my favorite breakfast cereal, but got $1 off a box to buy 3 boxes.
Which is your favorite, Captain Crunch?
Strawberry Awake.
Oh, never heard of it. It's got to be no
Well,
name
that's
brand.
the generic Walmart brand, but the other stuff is...
Continue.
But I got the real stuff. I didn't get generic.
Oh.
But there's no room. But anyway, we're moving into the new house, 1st of May. There'll be room for food.
Amazing.
I don't want to do food storage, but I want to at least have food in the house.
A box of cereal.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to get her the book, Wabi Sabi. So speaking of wellness and streamlining, here is another way you can do it. Dr. Hatch is going to tell you all about his online educational webinar that he will tell you how he approaches overcoming anxiety and depression and how you can get the webinar in the comfort of your own home, fast, easy, convenient. See how we do that? Here, check it out.
Talk 365 TV's Wellness Minute is brought to you by Brain Rehab Clinic with wellness team expert Dr. John Hatch.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Hatch here at Brain Rehab Clinic. I want to discuss those that might be suffering with debilitating anxiety, depression, why your case might not be just anxiety, why it might not be just depression, why there might be something going on that's deeper, neurological, imbalances in your brainstem or in your cortex that causes a fight or flight stress response that is highly involved with those dealing with anxiety and depression. And today I just went over an entire webinar that might help you understand why you're dealing with symptoms that are beyond the emotional psychological side. Go to brainrehabclinic.com. Under the Education tab, you'll find the webinar that goes into detail of other causes and how through brain rehab we can change your symptoms of anxiety and depression that are associated with neurological deficits.
I don't know, going back to school just seems impossible.
That's why WGU reinvented higher education. You can move through courses faster and graduate for half the cost.
Really?
Honey, just listen to the bird.
WGU, it's a new kind of you.
Healthcare for the Talk 365 team is provided by Body Renue.
And welcome back to Talk 365 TV. That's Holly Love. I'm Trip Mitchell. And about 4 years ago, I introduced you to a friend of mine, Dr. Brent. And Dr. Brent got you on some hormones, and it made an immediate, your mood, everything changed. It was a game changer.
Well, it was a game changer. It was something that I wasn't aware of, how important it is. And actually, we talked about this on the last show, that one of the trends in 2019 in wellness is women realizing from all of these at-home testing kits how important hormone balance is. And I was introduced to it, like you said, 4 years ago from you, and it was a game changer for me. Everything from sleep, my anxiety level, it was like immediately the sirens turned off in your head when you've got so much anxiety and stress and pressure. My testosterone, I had none, as well as other things wrong with my thyroid. And then I went to Dr. Rodgers, and he performed this incredible blood work analyzation that he does there at Body Renue, and was able to really figure out everything that was going wrong with me from that standpoint. And then he does the pellets, which to me, those are the only way to go because of the way that they work with your body on a natural basis. They're bioidentical. And then the convenience of just having the dose happening regularly through, where they stick it in your upper hip. So it's a painless process. It is something that every 3 to 4 months, when I know it's time for me to go back in, I don't even have to look at the calendar, which it's right now. It's like all of a sudden I sort of feel it, and then the minute I go in, it's like, oh my gosh, my ability to focus, my energy level, everything skyrockets. And for men, bioidentical hormones is amazing because guys don't realize as they start to get older, they think they're just depressed. So a lot of people confuse depression with hormone imbalance. So it's really important to be checking both and making sure that everything is functioning so that you're not being mistreated for something and then become further depressed because it didn't work.
Is this where you say stay tuned?
This is where I say coming at you right now is Dr. Rodgers from Body Renue, who's going to tell you all about bioidentical hormone therapy.
Talk 365's Talking Wellness segment is brought to you by Body Renue with wellness team expert Dr. Brian Rodgers.
Welcome to Talk 365's special Talking Wellness series. Today I am back at Body Renue with Dr. Brian Rodgers. Dr. Rodgers, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be here today because we are talking about something near and dear to my heart, which is bioidentical hormones.
One of my favorite subjects.
One of mine too. Now, I am one that suffered with anxiety greatly, and I was always tired, and I didn't know what was wrong, and I tried antidepressants, I tried taking anxiety medication, none of those things worked, obviously, and once I found the pellet therapy, the bioidentical pellet therapy, I am telling you, it changed my life in more ways than we can even get into right now. We don't have enough time to talk about how great this has been for me personally, and for anyone I know as I have reached out and started talking to people about hormone therapy. So I just want to jump in and find out what exactly is bioidentical hormones.
Bioidentical hormones are the same hormones that our human bodies make. It's not what a horse makes, it's not what a hamster makes. It's not what a scientist makes, it's what our own bodies make. And it's what our own bodies know how to use and to synthesize and break down.
So what's the difference between bioidentical hormones and other hormone therapy?
Other hormones, for example, conjugated horse estrogen, which is the most popular estrogen out there, it's an estrogen pill, that's what's in horses. I remember when I was being taught that in residency, someone held up a chart and said, look, all these 40 different types of estrogen that the horse makes, and they're going to be so great for a woman. But in reality, they're not. They often are toxic to women. The people don't know how to metabolize them, and they just get stuck and they mess up our metabolism. Women have 3 estrogens that they use. Progesterone is another female hormone. There's a progestin that's used in most birth control pills. And that progestin is great for helping shed the endometrial lining in the uterus, but it's not so great and it doesn't help anxiety, depression. Regular progesterone calms women where the progestin really doesn't. And so when you have something similar but not exact, it doesn't perform the same function. And so we want to use the same exact hormone in women as they're used to using. Anything else will cause problems.
And a bioidentical hormone is exactly the same.
Exactly.
Nice. And then what are some of the symptoms out there? I mentioned some of my personal symptoms, but there's
Sure.
a lot more.
Well, memory loss is one thing that we see. Have you ever walked into a room and forgot why you were going in there?
I have.
Once or twice?
Once or twice, yes.
Okay. Or when you lose your car keys, or you're talking to somebody and you just cannot remember their name.
Now, see, this happens to me all the time, and I have had hormone therapy, so does that just mean I'm in trouble?
Absolutely.
Oh dear. All right, keep going.
No. All right. Also, it can cause depression, anxiety. It can cause low energy, especially low energy later in the day, after lunch, later in the afternoon, or in the evening when you get home from work. You don't want to do the things that you need to do, like cook a meal or do the dishes. You just want to sit there and watch Netflix or something.
That was huge with me. That like energy towards the end of the day, and it was like almost an energy in your brain, that feeling that you feel when you've had a really good night's sleep, and you can't get it from a 5-hour energy or any kind of a supplement. It's that internal just like drive that you have from sun up to sundown that I think people associate with youth. Not necessarily. I mean, maybe because your hormones are balanced when you're younger.
Absolutely.
But you can feel that way later on, huh?
That's correct. Another symptom is you can't lose fat. So many people are dieting, exercising, and doing the right things, but they just can't lose any fat. Bioidentical hormones help with that. It also helps build muscle. And also some other things. If you have low hormones, you'll have low sex drive, low sex performance, difficulty having an orgasm, and also insomnia. And so all those symptoms can happen, which are very troubling to people.
So now let's talk a little bit about the way you can administer these, because of course I'm a huge fan of the pellet, but there are other ways out there.
There are lots of other ways. You can give hormones by mouth. And the problem with giving hormones by mouth is your liver transforms these hormones a little bit. They increase your risk of blood clots. You've heard women aren't supposed to have birth control pills after 35 because they have increased risk of blood clots. Women aren't supposed to smoke with birth control pills because it increases your risk of blood clots. Hormones by mouth also increases your risk of liver disease and cancer.
Wow.
The Women's Health Initiative study in 2002 showed us that estrogen by mouth does increase the risk of breast cancer. Other than pills by mouth, we can give shots. Hormone shots are not bioidentical. And I know with testosterone shots, in my own patients, I've used to follow cholesterols, and testosterone shots typically increase cholesterol and increase cardiovascular risk. And so I no longer give the testosterone shots in my practice here at Body Renue. You can use hormone creams, gels, and patches. Creams, gels, and patches can all be used safely, but the problem with the patches, sometimes some women have some problems with the adhesive in the patch. Gels and creams, they're a pain because it takes a while for them to soak in before you can get dressed after you put them on. With the men's testosterone cream, sometimes it has an odor that's offensive. And no man wants to be walking around with an offensive odor.
No, that's never good.
The other thing is the hormones go through the skin. They often can be transformed by enzymes into something different than what they started with.
Wow.
And so that's not healthy. And hormones do not go through the skin about 40–45% of the people. So almost half the people, they just plain don't work.
Don't get the full effect.
The other thing with hormone creams and gels is you have them on your hands. And as that is on their hand, as you touch someone, skin to skin, you can transfer that hormone for up to 6 to 8 hours after it's dried.
And this is after you've washed your hands, you've done all of that, you can still
Absolutely.
transfer.
And so you don't want that on your pets, your children, your grandchildren, or you just don't want that to happen. The other thing is there's a ceiling dose to how much you can give in these hormones, creams, and gels. And you can only get so high. And you can't always get to a therapeutic range with the creams and gels.
Wow. So we come to my favorite, which would be the pellet. Let's talk about that.
Well, the hormone pellet is the most bioidentical treatment plan. Just as our sex organs are surrounded by capillaries and the blood takes that hormone to other places in the body, did you know that estrogen has 400 uses in the human body?
No.
And when it's gone, that's gone. Anyways,
Wow.
so the hormone's taken to other places in the body. As these pellets are inserted, capillaries go around the hormone pellet and take the hormone to the rest of the body. So it's the most bioidentical treatment plan.
Again, so much like the way you do it naturally.
Absolutely. What we do is numb up the area with some numbing medicine. We make a very small incision right back in the hip area, and we insert the pellets underneath the skin. For most women, it's a nearly painless procedure.
I've said this before. Honestly, I don't know when you're actually putting the pellet in because you're so quick with the shot that I don't even really feel the shot, and I'm like, "Are we done?" Like that every time. You really are that good. That's a
thank you.
sincere compliment with that. 'Cause
Thank you very much.
It's never hurt at all.
And for women, the hormones get to full effect in about 3 to 4 weeks. Men, about 4 to 5 weeks. And you're at full effect, and it's working great. It's a very safe way to deliver hormones. There was the Women's Health Initiative that told us that estrogen increases the risk of breast cancer. Well, that was estrogen by mouth. The nurses' study that was done in 1995 shows us that when we give testosterone and estrogen together, as we do in pellet therapy, it actually reduces the risk of breast cancer.
Wow. So I wanted to talk a little bit about safety beyond cancer risk, but also health for your brain and your heart. Let's talk a little bit about that because that's the other side of it.
Okay, I'm going to talk about bone too.
Okay.
Because the pellet therapy increases bone mass by almost 9% each year. It's the most effective treatment to prevent or treat osteoporosis.
Wow.
Women before menopause, their heart attack risk is 1 in 7. After menopause, it's 1 in 3. Well, what's the big change? The hormone levels.
Wow. I have never heard that before. That is crazy.
That's correct. And estrogen does reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease in study after study. The other thing is women get Alzheimer's disease 8 times more than men do. And with hormones, they can reduce that risk by 50%.
Oh my goodness. With those statistics alone, I don't know how this isn't just a normal part of every checkup. It should be.
It is in my office.
I know, in your office it absolutely is. So let's talk a little bit about what is the process of coming in here and finding out if hormone therapy is right for you.
Well, we have you come in for a consult. There's a small fee for that consult. To get a consult, you just call our office, or you can go to our website, and then during that consult, we talk about different symptoms that the patient is having, and we set them up for laboratory testing. Lab testing is important. You don't just treat on symptoms. You have to have evidence to not only treat the correct disease process, but to know how to treat the correct disease process.
Well, and the amount that you give, whether it be testosterone or estrogen or a combination of all of the above, you've got, I mean, that's a very specific thing.
That's right. We have a calculator that calculates for that. Every person gets an individualized dose. It's not one dose fits all, as a lot of prescription drugs are. And so we calculate that. For women, it's a little even more complicated. Each woman has her own symphony of hormones. That's her unique makeup.
I really like that whole symphony of hormones thing. You make high maintenance sound pretty. I like that.
It's the way it is. It's a symphony. And the calculator tells us the dosages of the hormones. We put that amount in, and then 5-6 weeks later, we do lab testing, and we talk to the women to make sure that the dosage is exactly correct.
Oh yeah, that follow-up is huge.
That's correct. And
Yeah.
we can increase or decrease the dose depending on what the women tell us. Now men, they're easy. You put the testosterone in, they feel great.
Yeah. Oh man, boys, you have it so easy. What are you guys? You're not a symphony. You're just a one play.
Yes.
You're a touchdown.
We're a one instrument band.
One instrument. I went to football. I don't know why. I don't know that much about it. So
That's all right.
I should stick with symphonies and plays. That's more my speed too. So again, I mentioned earlier that I am someone who suffered with anxiety. That was really my beast of burden for the most part of my life. And the minute I found pellet therapy, I felt a difference energetically within 24 hours. Within a couple of weeks, I'm telling you, life changer for me. The energy level in my mind, my ability to focus and concentrate, think clearly, have energy from sun up to sundown, and your confidence level. Like I just felt better about myself and about life in general. I mean, it has changed my life so immensely that I would honestly go on record to say there's only been a couple of things that have truly changed my life, and pellet therapy is one of them. So I highly advocate that you give Dr. Rodgers a call, get in here, get your blood work done, find out if you are imbalanced, especially if you're on other medications for depression, anxiety, and you're not feeling better. Because chances are you're having a hormone imbalance and maybe you don't even have a problem with depression, because they don't really do a blood test for depression, they just start putting you on medication.
Absolutely, and a lot of this is either hormones imbalanced, thyroid being imbalanced, and we check all of that with this consultation and visit.
And what happens if they mention Talk 365?
If they mention Talk 365, we'll give them $100 off their first pellet placement.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much. I appreciate that. So you have no excuse. You're gonna save money, you're gonna feel better, and I would actually love to hear about it. Email me and tell me about the difference you feel after you come and see this guy, because it will be immense. It is a game changer, a life changer. Dr. Rodgers, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate this a ton, and don't go anywhere because we'll be right back right after this.
Brain Rehab Clinic is proud to announce that they're the first clinic in Utah to have on-site the gyrostem. And welcome back to the show. That's Holly Love. I'm Trip Mitchell. And let's talk about cool things to do in the spring. I tried to outfool Snowbird and work a lot of days in late May. And it kind of didn't work with my vacation schedule, but those are fun days. So you can go up to the mountains, you can ski, snowboard, do whatever you want. The final resort open in Utah. Mm-hmm. And typically we're open very late compared to other resorts, but everyone's had a great snow year.
I just love the warm weather. I love the light lasting until 9-10 o'clock that we're moving into. I love this time of year when you're like looking ahead and know that it's just going to get better. That's the best. I struggle. I think I have my like PTSD little anxiety attack in October because I start to know that, oh, it's going to get bad, and then it's just going to get worse. And so anyway, I come back to life right now.
What would you change with the calendar? So for a lot of people, the NCAA tournament is great because it comes in March, last 2 weeks of March, first week in April. It gets you excited. Then there's Masters for sports. But there are also playoffs for both hockey and basketball. So I know at night I am going to watch a game that's going to make me truly happy. That gives you
something to look forward to.
Exactly. And then summer, 4th of July, the best holiday ever. But when you get into fall, you've got football for a lot of people, which they love.
Yeah.
Beautiful colors. Then Thanksgiving, which is, who doesn't love Thanksgiving?
Well, food, delicious, always.
Yes, lots of butter.
Bacon butter.
Exactly.
Which we were introduced to last time. I'm so on that.
The calendar works kind of good because you always have something to look forward to.
That's a great way to focus on it too. Take a moment and think about the things that you get excited about and all of that. And I need to probably do more of that in the fall about the things I can do when it's dark. But when we said we were going to focus on things you can do now it's light, just get out and enjoy it. Go for a beautiful walk because it's gorgeous out there.
And it is. And so we're going to do tomorrow morning. It's going to be another great morning.
Another great morning.
If you turn us on right here in KJazz, we hope we'll make your day much happier. I know we have a great time doing it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day.